and your time starts by 16:49. You have 20 minutes.
All right. Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for organizing this. And good evening to my fellow colleagues. Please, can you hear me? I want to make sure everybody can hear me loud and clear.
I can hear you. Samuel, you can please stop presenting.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, once again. So I'll be sharing my screen right about now, so everybody can see what I'm up to. So I actually worked on a landing page we designed for PalmPay. Sorry, give me a few minutes. I'm trying to locate my Figma screen.
Hello, Olaliko. We are waiting for you. Are you there?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm a speaker. I didn't know I was muted. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I'm muted. Okay.
Yeah. So thank you. So I'll just start afresh. All right. So this is the design I did from PalmPay Redesign, which I'm about to present to everybody. So I worked on this project a few months back before they did a new redesign for PalmPay. So actually what made me to work on this was because I noticed that the goal of every landing page is to convert traffic into um, page users eventually. That's one of the goals for landing page, and I feel it's also applicable to PalmPay as well. And while working on this project, I felt since PalmPay is a popular online platform that enables users to make secure payments in a and convenient transaction, it's very important that clear designs are showcased on the website and they have everything like the benefit and feature of the app actually. They have it well specified across the website or landing page. Like nothing is hidden for any users to see, and there is actually no cognitive overload. So that is actually one of the reasons why I onboarded on this project and worked on it. And then to be clear, it's actually a fictional project, so it's not related to any real project with PAMP or whatsoever. So working on this project, the first thing I decided to do was to make sure that the button to get the download link for both iOS and Apple, both iOS and Google Play are well showcased on the website actually, so that it's not actually difficult. Like as a user is coming to the website, it's very easy
Hello,
for.
Olaliko. Sorry, we are not seeing your screen of the Pampe. We are seeing a Google Chrome
It's
website.
wow. I'm actually on it, but let me stop and reshare again. I'm actually on the
Okay.
page. Must be network. I'm sorry about that. Sorry, please give me a minute.
Perxels Manager, yes.
Yeah, sorry, I'm working on it. I don't know why it's still showing the same thing here. Okay, let me just reshare and
Yeah, you can present all your screens. Like
okay,
share all. Okay,
yeah,
thank
don't
you,
worry, I'll
Miss.
just share from Figma now. Yes. Is it visible to everybody now?
Yes, I
All
can
right.
see.
Thank you. Sorry about that. Must be network actually. I didn't notice. So yeah, so while working on this, I actually started with the navigation, with the nav bar here. I actually on the first one I noticed they had I think about five um sections there, five nav bars there actually. So I tried to make it six, and then I tried to like have the brand's logo in the middle so that everything seems visually appealing and consistent, and not in a way that one one menu here is actually overlapping the other. I make sure everything is very easy to see and very easy to locate actually. I also make sure that the button to get the apps are easily specified on the page, because the goal of every landing page, as the case may be for Pampay, is to redirect them to where they can actually download the app, just to reduce issues of whereby customers are having to call customer care, like how do I download your mobile application. Then I also went ahead to actually get actual screenshots from Pampay mobile app actually. So these actually are screenshots I took from original Pampay designs on their mobile app. So actually, I did not work on these screenshots just in the mobile application. So I also felt it would be good to also showcase what users will get to see when they actually download the app. And excuse me. Okay, sorry, can you hear me still? Sorry.
I can hear you.
All right. So I made sure that okay, pictures or excerpts from the mobile app actually shown on the website so that they feel familiar to what they will actually get to see. So this also helps in the case whereby probably there's a fake, probably a couple of people just decide to create a fake version of this app so that users get to differentiate easily. At least they can just come on the landing page, check what is there, and then use to decide whether they've been able to download the actual Pampy app or not. So after the hero section here, I the next option here is to showcase the benefit and to showcase our services, which also highlights the benefits of the service actually. So I also yeah, so some of the things I use were actually gotten from the Pampay um original design actually, like these screenshots here. I actually took it from there, so I did not actually work on it. So this actually just helps to like show the actual benefits and the objectives of the app to users, so they easily decide whether it's something they really want. Of course, this actually shows the benefit and the features whereby the Papi app actually solves, and then it also has gets Papi. With this this button actually allows that you don't necessarily have to, like scroll up back up to this page or then click on the button. So it doesn't just um it doesn't just cause some sort of distraction to what you're doing. So you can actually this button serves as another platform for you to just click on the app and then download it. There are also some social proof there, which is actually a major social proof that should not be ignored, considering that PAMP is a fintech industry and just need to be um, authorized or regularized by CBN and other financial institutions. So on the previous line I was there, I noticed that the social proof, which is also part of this testimonial, was actually very hard to read. It was actually quite difficult for, let's assume for someone with vision. And I actually noticed they repeated some images there, or some images were actually left out. So while working on this, I made sure to actually find a way to incorporate testimonial for each person and the actual image for the person that actually wrote a particular testimonial. So these are just stock images actually. They do not represent anybody that made a comment on Pampay's page. Our partners page. What is our partners page? I was actually working with the Pampay's purple color scheme actually. So on getting here, I actually faced the problem that okay, there are too many colors, or there are too many colors from popular Nigerian brands and international brands here. So I felt, okay, how do I reduce these colors that it doesn't conflict with the ongoing color scheme of the pampe, which is actually purple. So I find a way to just walk around, just having like some form of fade to white gradient overlay across all these brand logos, and in such a way that none of it is still hidden. Like you can still see each brand and you still know, you still recognize their brand color actually. Because putting them in black and white will not actually work because you have to like show the actual brand colors, which is also very, very important as well. So which coming down towards the filter page, I also have another link for users to download the Pampi app. Because like I said, the goal of the landing page is pretty much just for conversion purposes and to give actual information, the about of the company, and probably if there's a probably major news and probably media gallery of that particular brand, you easily get access to them. And the main function of this page was just to like showcase medium whereby users can download the app and have it installed on their phone. The Pampi landing page is not necessary, it's not really, you don't necessarily perform transaction on the page. This page just redirects you to the main mobile application itself where you just get to download and get started and you get onboarded on the app. So this part where I also apply my own initiative to just have some sort of screenshot of the brand and probably some functions of what the brand does. These were also gotten from Campaign actually. I did not actually design these. These were not my creative. These are not my brainchild actually. Then on the filter page, I tried as much as possible not to make it cluster because much cluster and just arrive at something like this, and whereby all the necessary details have been specified all across and and the necessary email contact and phone number address of the organization. So while working on this, the issues I had or the issues I noticed with the previous one was actually the layout was in the pretty sense, it was actually really closed out, and some buttons were actually placed where they were meant to be actually, and as well some calls to actions were really missing out, like probably something like download the Pampe app was not really evident in the previous version of the of the line. Me I applied was just to like streamline the layout, make sure that it's not clustered together. I also ensure that the information are not too many for people to read. Spans are actually getting really, really low due to majority of things we consume. Like we have so many things to consume on our digital devices daily. So if you want to catch people's attention at a go, you have to like do it in few seconds or in less than a minute or two. So I was able to reduce the clustered layout and redesign it to a cleaner and much more organized interface. I also worked on a clear call to application store buttons here. Sorry about that. All these application buttons there, and then get the app actually here. Then you also notice that if any other buttons actually redirect you to another page entirely, it will be up here. So that means that you actually want to like get redirected to probably blog or maybe press or maybe any segment of the company or about us. But then on this particular landing page that I worked on, I made sure that the buttons here are just buttons for you to download, and every other thing that might probably mistakenly probably take you to that page are probably at the top of the screen, which is around the nav area or at the footer section here actually. Then the third solution also provided was visual enhancement. I made sure that the design also corresponded with their ongoing brand consistency. I know the kind of standard that Pampi designs they've been able to achieve personally. So I made sure that what I actually worked on also correspond with the is also consistent with the kind of brand they had at that point in time. And the result was I was able to design a landing page that in perfect that um, that impacted the overall perception of the brand consistency actually. And then in my conclusion, the design of the popular was to an extent, I would say it's successful because to me, I would say what I did was okay, but then it could be better. There's still more progress, I believe. So I believe I was able to
Olalekan,
achieve some.
Olalekan,
Yes,
you have 5 minutes
I hear
more.
me. All right. So I'm rounding off already. So I was saying this landing page I worked on in conclusion, I was able to extend landing page that correspond with the brand design. And I also due to what I was able to achieve, I know that this will also lead to a much more higher conversion rate for the brand, which is also the utmost goal for every organization. And I was also able to like analyze and put out the benefits and features of the landing page. I was also able to like specify it out on the project as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that wonderful presentation, Olalekan. Please celebrate him.
Sorry, I hope you can hear
Okay,
me.
so I
Okay,
really,
my nice wall.
yeah, I really like the fact where you mentioned something about the review that it was clustered up on the actual brand's page, but then you made it easier and also you respected their NDIC insured logo that was on the landing page and you maintained it. That was very good. And like have always said, it's up to our judges. So we'll be moving on to the next speaker. And our next speaker is Ekom Mobong. He will be presenting Grabby. Ekom, are you there? Kindly unmute yourself. You have 20 minutes.
Good evening, everyone. Um, please let me know if you can hear me.
I can hear you clearly.
All right, perfect. First of all, I'd like to welcome Mr. Oka and Miss Folajomi. I really want to appreciate you guys for coming out and taking out your time to be with us today. And uh, so I would like to talk about an experience I had a couple of years ago. I heard a couple of years ago, I was in school and I came back home and I was having, a little discussion with my sibling, my sister, and she was giving me, the gist and of things that were happening or things that had happened. And then we happened to talk about my first sister and her shopping habits. And so my first sister is a very wonderful person and she likes shopping. She absolutely loves shopping. But then there was this experience she had that she wanted to buy a pair of sneakers, and the sneaker she saw, the one she actually liked, was the person that was selling to her um, was in Lagos, and she's in Uyo, and she's in Uyo, and she she really wanted to get a pair of sneakers, and so she decided to purchase trust the person and get this pair of sneakers, and it took a long time to get to her, and she kept calling the vendor, and the vendor was saying it's not her fault, it's the driver and everything, and that was a very wonderful experience. Till today, she has not gotten the pair of sneakers, and she has not gotten her money back, and so that situation and that experience gave birth to an idea. Uh, Myself and um, a couple of my friends, we decided to tackle the impending issue at that time, which is the fact that most people want to purchase things and uh, they really do not know if the vendor is legit, yes, or if the whole process, how it will be, they don't want to spend their money or they don't want to give out their money and do not get anything in return. And so we decided to create an e-commerce mobile application that would ensure that goods and services rendered on the platform, first of all, have been verified, and the vendors there are legit. We know them, we work with them, they have gone through our verification process. And so when the users, or when our users um, gets a product from them, there is that level of security and assurance that the product will get to them. And so the Grabby project came about. So I'll jump right into the case study that we have, and I'll show you how we all made our decisions. So, okay. So this is just an overview of the Grabby e-commerce mobile application. So as I said here, it's an application that enables users find and purchase goods from vendors closest to them. Based on what I said, my sister was looking for someone to get sneakers from, but the person was far away. And I believe that if she had gotten someone that was a little bit close by, it would have been quite easy for her to um, get those products or those sneakers faster. And maybe she could have even in the case of even in the case where there was an issue in the delivery, she would have been able to meet the vendor one on one and get information about the whole matter. So we have our team members. I did not do this alone. I had a team of people and we dedicated and really wanted this project to be available. And so let's move right in. So based on our design process, we thought about the problem, and we decided we needed to come up with a solution. And then we had user interviews and we had research and we did a lot of things. I could remember having meetings daily. It was weekly at first, then at some point it became daily because we needed to understand ourselves and gather enough data. And from there, we started drawing user personas and journey maps and empathy maps and user flows. And then we went right into the sketching and visual design, and then the low fidelity, high fidelity, and the design system. And then finally got a product. So let's go right in. So now, based on the user research that we found out that most people had certain problems that they really wished they could have solutions for, or they could be provided solutions to. So the first one was someone that found it very difficult to uh, get vendors or merchants of goods around her area, and she really needed to, she does not want the whole issue that she has to wait a couple of days, a week, 2 weeks to get her product delivered to her. She needed something that she could purchase and get it in 30 minutes, 45 minutes. And so that was her issue at that point. And we had other people talk about payment method. They did not really like the fact that they would be inputting their card details into a platform that they are not really sure of. I know people are really, really conscious of where they input their details. And so the last person was, well, not the last person, but one of the problems we also got from the users that we interviewed was that sometimes or most times these applications, they just want to come on to the application, get what they need and go off. They do not need excess stress. They don't need to waste time. They don't want to waste time about it. But then some of these applications are uh, just so long to takes them so a very huge amount of time to get to where they want. And so we combined these problems and we used them as case studies because these were the major problems we could get from the data we acquired. And so we decided to get solutions for the problems. The first one was to ensure that we had a feature that will allow the users to know exactly where their product is. And for those that want to get from, or that have to get from a long distance, to be able to track the product. Those that are getting from short distance places that are close by, they will be able to see where their product, the exact location of the product. And the second solution for the one of the case studies was to, get a variety of payment methods so people could, pay easily and do not have to stress about inputting their details or worried about inputting their details when they do not have to or when they do not need to. And the third case study for the solution for the third case study was to ensure that we had a very short and precise user flow for our mobile application. So let's head down. This particular screen contains the qualitative research that we did. We interviewed a total of 9 people, and we had to get feedback from them, and we had a good amount of data. We had a one-on-one discussion with them through Google Meet, it was Zoom meetings, personally we met them and we talked to them, and then we got their opinions. And most of them just, they're not sure, most of them, yeah, they're not sure of the vendors, as I said. They don't want to come online and spend and waste their money and not get their product. And so we had to listen to all the pain points, had to listen to all the issues, and we decided to get a solution to that quickly. So this would show some of the questions that we asked, the users or the people we interviewed. So you can see the answers. People that shopped online. A lot of people said they did shop online, and a lot of people said they used Gigi, Konga, Jumia. There were a lot of websites that you use, but these three were the major ones because I believe they're the major ones in Nigeria. So everyone, and they have that fame, and everyone trusts them to get their product. And you had to ask them what payment method they prefer, what they need, what anything that would make them not purchase goods from a particular place, and got all those information. And heading next, we had to compare the strengths and weaknesses of our competitors. As I said, there are 3 major brands that are our competitors in Nigeria. So we had Jumia, and Konga, and Gigi. So we had to look at the strengths, look at the weaknesses, to study a lot, and then we decided to incorporate their strength into what we are building, and also find ways to provide solutions for their weaknesses. So we have here that for Jumia, some of their weaknesses are the orders could not be cancelled, the buyers could not schedule orders. They had one particular payment plan and a payment method, and the users could not send bid for whatever product they wanted to buy. And for Konga, users could not sign up using social media accounts. There was no onboarding feature. Aside from the fact that Konga had a really good marketing strategy, and if it was a startup or a brand that was not known, it would have been difficult because most people will not know what Konga is used for. So that's why we have the onboarding features to let the users know that, okay, this is what our product is for. This is how you navigate our product. All right. So for GG, they had a very wonderful interface that most people do not think they could do things on, and users could not order product without reaching to the vendors first. People just want to get straight to the points, get the product, and then pay for it. So quickly, we had our user personas. We had to design user personas for them. We took one person from each gender, from the people that we interviewed, and we created a user persona for them. We talked to them about it, how they wanted to, what they wanted to do, and how their life revolved around buying goods on online platforms. And then we created empathy maps, how the users think, how they feel, and what they say and what they do. So we had to compare all of them and all the information we had there for us to get the features that we would need to ensure that our product meets the requirements that was designed for, was meant to be designed for. And we had to outline the pain points of the users. So most of the pain points, I'll just go through them. Delivery could be slow, unable to negotiate prices of products, and to be able to buy products without adding to cart takes time. People want to be able to purchase goods with cryptocurrency for those that are really conversant with the Web3 space. People said they would like to be able to track their orders, and at that point in time, there were little features, or there were no features for that to be able to track product. And someone said that she's busy and she would like to order things before time. Let's say uh, you have a 9 to 5 job and you're trying to gather things in your life, and you just know that okay, at the end of the month you want to go shopping and you want to restock your house. So you could not easily do that. You had to wait till that particular day, or maybe you find out that one of your products has finished, you have to go out and get it. So, and all those things. So we had to provide solutions for them. Each pain point that we had, we provided solutions for them. Tried to make options that would ensure faster delivery. Had to create a bid option. We had to install, or we had to create a feature that would use GPS system to track products from the delivery and delivery personnel, and we had to include some features from some payment methods that would allow users to pay with cryptocurrencies or to send money to their wallets or USD, and also we also included an opportunity for people to include their bank cards so they could easily make payments. And then heading on to the next, we had a user flow. And as I said, our user flow, we needed it to be very simple. So no stress, just people that would, for people that would want to just come in, buy and leave. So this is the user flow from onboarding to have account registration, then home, then get whatever you want to get and check out, or you add it to cart and then you confirm your order. And so we had the wireframes designed, and now our features I'll quickly run through. I don't have a lot of time. So this is the onboarding screen. Talks about what we really do and educates the users on specific functionalities. Yeah. So we have the main menu. This is what the main menu looks like. So you can shop your clothes, you can shop food, electronics, gadgets, things like that. It's all integrated in the platform. And so then we have checkout. So when you get to a particular product, you could easily buy from there, or you could add to cart. Let's say you want to buy multiple things, then you can add to cart. If you just want to get that particular thing, you can go straight to the checkout menu. And then this is an overview of how our feature or location feature would be like. So you get to see where your vendors are, and you get to see where your riders are. The first screen are the vendors that are available, that are close by, and then the second screen is for the riders. So you could see where exactly the riders are and how long it will take to get to you. And then we have the send bid section, because based on our data that we collected from the research, most people say they want to, as Nigerians, they want to be able to bid. Yes.
You have 5 minutes more.
Okay. So thank you for that. So most people want to bid for the products they're getting. I believe people feel like the prices are too high. This is not supposed to be. People just want to bid for things, right? So we included that feature there. So if you want to bid for a product, you can easily do that, and we have a feature that allows people to schedule orders. So let's say you get your product at the beginning of the month, so you know that at the beginning of the next month you are getting or you're restocking. So you could easily do that, add that to your list, and delete it, and that's what the screen says. And then we have payment methods. As you can see on the first mock-up, we have a Grabby wallet, we have PayPal, we have bank transfer, we have Bitcoin. So it's very versatile. You can use anyone that you choose to use, and whichever is best suited for you. And then we have the messaging app feature, where you can chat with vendors, ask them if these goods are available, if certain goods are available, and what are the prices and all those things. And you can chat with logistics, your riders, your delivery personnel. Okay, where are you? How long are you going to take to get this? And all those things. Although we do not recommend it for when the drivers are, let's say we are using a driver that is using a bike, we do not recommend it, because it's going to be very difficult to communicate with the driver that is using a bike. All right, so this shows our design system. We use plugins, and we had to create logos and icons and colors, and we used icons. And these are the components. I'll just quickly move through the components that are there. And these are the high fidelity designs that we created based on the features that we laid out and the low fidelity that was designed. And then at the end of the whole process, we had to conduct testing. And although the reiteration was not included on this case study, we had to conduct testing, and we found some things that we could work on, and we did work on them. So we had to understand whatever we needed to do was going to be for the users, and we needed to ensure that the users get what they really deserve and what they really want. That's it. So I think that's the end. So thank you very much for listening to me, and I hope you learned or you understood what my case study was about. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Acom. Thank you for the wonderful presentation. That I liked the storytelling from the beginning. That was very, very interesting. Okay, so right now we would like to bring in our judges. First is Ms. Folajomi to speak on our first four presenters. My bad, I should have brought them in earlier, but they should come in now. So sorry for that. Okay, so we would like to have Ms. Folajomi speak on our first four presenters. We have three speakers left. So then after our judges will come on. Also, Mr. Adimchi after Ms. Folajomi, please prepare. Thank you.
Um, all right, thank you very much. I was wondering as well because each time they presented, I had feedback, but then I just wanted to see how you guys want. Let me start from the first person that presented. Hold on, give me a minute. Let me go back to. Okay, yeah. So, well done. Your case study was really, really full detail when it comes to attention to details. I give that to you, and your presentation was good. However, in terms of when it comes to the UX, the problem you're trying to solve, which was the food delivery and bringing the vendors, the buyers, and the delivery company together, right? Your this is a service that a lot of people are doing already, and so far for now, one of the best is Cloud. I was expecting when you were trying to do like competitive analysis, I was expecting you would probably study child deck and see something they're doing wrong or they're not doing and you wanted to do differently. And for me, somehow you sort of made it a little bit complicated because based on what child deck has right now, they made things easy for users when you just order from the vendor you want to order from and get your food and stuff like that. So I feel like there were, rather than making it further simpler, if stressing of users trying to pick their own delivery company that will deliver if they want to order, that's like sort of a little bit more complicated from the user end. And that was like a bit of an issue for me. And as for your design skills, in terms of your design, it was really good. And the part I had issue with was your use of color. I feel like you probably need to get in depth with psychology of color. I'm not sure if you guys were all given one particular color to use because I can see that almost everybody used orange, right? However, your color palette combining the orange it was as if you used orange all through. You were going for a monochrome vibe, which is okay, but then it's food ordering platform. I shouldn't see orange everywhere, literally almost everywhere. It was a bit of, and there was a lot of color contrast. Like some place where you were using orange, the shade of your orange that you're using, the white text color you were using on top was sort of, not clear enough, and I was not really seeing the text that was written at some point. So that's that there as well. And but so far, generally, well done. The fact that you were able to walk through every single detail and you stated the reason why you did certain things. That was really nice. Well done on that. For the second presenter, that was Samuel, I really love your design. They went to look on it. I was like, wow, I like this aesthetic. Like you were using orange, but yes, you put the contrast was nice. Speaking for someone that I have a bit of issues when it comes to my hair and color, but yeah, it was really, really nice. Really combined them. And your presentation skill was still like I really like the way you presented and all like that. And I get that one of the unique feature you wanted to put on gamification, that was what is supposed to make you stand out compared to what Piggyvest and Carrywise were doing. And you said something under where you were looking at the weaknesses of Piggyvest and Carrywise. And under Carrywise, you put like no withdrawability. And I'm like, do you mean that people don't withdraw on Carrywise? That was, maybe you should look into that because there's nothing they have where you can put your money. You definitely be able to speak out your money. So maybe you need to look into that. However, for the gamification part was where I had a problem. Yeah, the point of gamification is to now give users the actual game they have to play, or activity they have to do to give the gaming experience. Yes, as you're saving the housekeeping, but what are the activities I need to do to build this house? Like, can I change the house color? Can I make it a bungalow? Improve that gamification if you're really, really putting gamification into the process, right? Yeah, and you call it investment, right? The old savings purpose was investing and then showing how your investment builds and all like that. So you should actually put, that activity, giving user retention. The user has a reason to come back that, oh yeah, I did not complete doing this when I was doing that. That's how games work. Like an example of that is you could use this app as for the gamification when it comes to gamification experience, this Monopoly Go. They really, really have a very good user retention when it comes to the gamification process. So you can use that as a guide to understand how gamification really, really works. But it's a really dope idea, just that the execution was not really, didn't really hit home for me. But yeah, well done on that. That was really nice. And like I said, your design skills really nice. I like the way the use of images and all like that. However, there was one problem in places where you use images. Your text were extremely tiny. I don't think users will be able to read it. You're forgetting that it's a mobile, and the more you make it tiny, the lesser the user will be able to read. And part of a good UX is users should be able to read what you're putting there. So probably you should look into that. Places where you use images, in a situation where you feel like the message you want to pass is not enough, there's what we call the learn more button, the read more button. You don't necessarily need to put all the information in that space for it to totally stay together. Probably that's why you had to use tiny fonts. So hence I couldn't read it, right? Now for the third presenter, the one with campaign, I really had a problem with that. Majorly because you're supposed to present a case study, right? And it's cool that you're redesigning campaign. But the point of redesigning and making a case study is to show me the comparison. Yes, you are saying this is the reason why you did this. All your reasons were good. But where's the evidence? I'm supposed to see the old one that you saw that I decided to redesign, and your case study is supposed to be showing me, oh, in the Euro section, this is the old one, this is the new one, this is why I made this decision from changing this to this, and this is why I did that. In the next section, this is what they had in the old one. In my own redesign, this is what I have now, and this is the reason why I made this decision. Explain that UX process, because in a redesigning of stuff, you're really, really doing serious UX work, telling us why this is not working and why what you've done now will work. Yes, you explained everything, but you had no evidence showing me that, yes, this is the problem you were solving. You were just explaining it. Where's the evidence? And I decided to go to their current website and comparing it to what you were saying, they were not correlating. So there's literally no evidence. And yeah, you were presenting a Figma board. That's not a presentation mode. I didn't want to see the main Figma design. Let's see the analysis of you doing that changing and me saying, oh yeah, this is really nice. I enjoy your UX process and everything like that. So that was sort of odd for me at that. Now for the current last presenter that presented, when it comes to storytelling, I give it to you. That's nice. It's really nice. But I wouldn't lie. In the process of storytelling, you lost me. In terms of at some point, I started feeling sleepy. This is me not lying. This is me being honest. Majorly because I was eager. Yes, the beginning of the story is nice. And you said you guys were about 11 that worked on it. But it has so much documentation, so much writing that I was so eager to actually see the design. And by the time I finally see the design, my anticipation was like, oh, it was orange everywhere. That it didn't give me the excitement you sell from the beginning to what you did. What they did not match. The energy did not match at all from your story to what you actually presented. And because I was already getting tired of all the story, 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 story. I was not, by the time I see the design, I was not eager, or I wasn't really seeing the uniqueness. I get that, yes, you try to introduce using crypto to, pay and all like that. So that's you blending Web3 to, um, you know, that's it blending Web3 to the Web2 process. But then there was nothing about how user will connect their wallets, or how, like, you just stated that yes, they can pay with crypto and all like that. All those details need to be infused in it, right? I didn't really get that okay, yes, you have the story, you have the problem. But now the main design aspect, where the main work is, you lost me at that point. And that was like a really, really, what's the word? I don't want English spelling me at this point. But you get what I mean. Because if for example I'm a recruiter and you've been telling me all of this, you're already anticipating, giving the recruiter a lot to anticipate for, but then you didn't deliver the rate of what you've anticipated them to see and all like that. It was still like the regular e-commerce. There was nothing super like, oh yeah, this makes sense, like that. This is super unique and stuff like that. It just give me the regular junior vibe. Yes, you're onboarding and all like that is there, but then it's not really, really standing out the way I was expecting it to stand out based on your storyline, right? And the fact that a lot of you guys worked on it, you only talked about, the user, and you didn't talk about what's the word? You didn't show designs of, okay, what the vendor will be doing, or how they are doing it, getting certain things. Right. So my general feedback for for the first, second, and the fourth presenter was that, yes, you guys talked about doing intensive work and all, forgetting that a product is not complete without the admin as well. You all ignore that. You talked about their buyer sellers. You didn't, in your infrastructure or your user stuff on, or in the process of bidding, you didn't talk about how all of that will be managed. As a product designer, this is a key part of your product when you're working with companies and you guys are building a formal platform. The admin is equally as important as what the user is ending, because whatever your user is seeing, your admin has to see as well. Your admin is the one publishing all of those things. So your UX process also involves the admin process and the admin aspect as well, which a lot of people, when they're doing personal project, they tend to just know and just focus on that. So I feel like you guys should also try to also learn to incorporate that. That's why a lot of people, when they finally get, the jobs that they are doing, and then they tell them, oh, you're working on the admin, they now start asking, who has designed admin dashboard? I'm confused. I don't know what to do. Because when we work on personal projects, we do not think about that. So that's all the feedback from my end. So far, well done, guys.
Thank you very much, Miss Folajomi. We really appreciate that. I hope all presenters concerned has listened and they understood what was said. Okay, so please let's have Mr. Adimchi Oka talk to.
Hey, hi everyone. Well done to the presenters that have had their presentations. It's really tough to. I understand the stress while creating a portfolio or a case study. Yeah, you guys have been able to come through, and it's a huge challenge you have been able to hurdle over. So yeah, so I would like to leave some feedback, some pros and cons, because that's how I categorize. Um, so you know what you can do, what you did well, and what can be improved on basically. From general points, I would say very quickly, because I'll just be adding to what Folajomi has mentioned. Um, I think we should craft our case studies in a way that is also user friendly. Once your case study is very, very lengthy, nobody will read, and that's the entire truth. Everybody will scan through. They read, okay, what's the problem you're trying to solve? Well, how did you research or find these issues and your solution? That's what they go through. So if you are not communicating, it's like you guys burnt many energy in the research, like you guys dug the research seed and then now toned down on your presentation or toned down on the design. Everything has to be 100 if you want to do all that. So that's the point I want to leave out there. Like try to cut it down, try to minimize the size of your case study so that it's easier to access. And yeah. So for Stanley, the very first guy, yeah, I like that. And this is why I always like. I like when you connect the solutions to the problems. I like how you listed it and say, okay, these are the problems, these are the solutions I'm providing. That's very key. There's a design system. The whole thing is well detailed. That's very cool. But some things like the UX, as Folajomi mentioned, combining multiple platforms, the drivers and stuff all together in one app. Did you ask or did you research why Childec had to separate theirs? Why is the drivers app separate? Did you ask those questions to understand if there are any technical limitations to some of these things? It's always a good, I'm sure they would have thought about it that, oh, an all-in-one app that would solve everybody's problems. But designers have to always consider technical limitations and it makes your work look very realistic. It has more depth. So it means it was well thought through and it's very realistic. Um, so that's very key. And then no need to explain. It comes back to the wordiness. No need to explain who your target users. I saw that you had I've forgotten one example. Then you had to describe who they are. Like eh, listing them is just enough. It saves time. And again, the goal of a case study is to communicate this thing, the problem you are solving and how you solve it in the shortest way possible. Recruiters spend after research, they spend 4 seconds reviewing your portfolio before they pass it by. 4 seconds, not your case study, your whole portfolio. Let's say you have a standard portfolio that has case studies. They spend only 4 seconds and they are gone and they move to the next person. So if you cannot communicate that very clearly in a very short span, it's going to be very, very tedious to get a call back. So yeah, that. So for Samuel, yeah, I think it has very, very great presentation. I like the brutalist approach, I like the big fonts. I'm a fan for big fonts. But they unfortunately went wrong. Not too bad, but I noticed some kerning issues with text at the bottom. They're not very spaced, as Folajan mentioned. They're very tiny and very closely packed, so you can look at that. Then the gamification idea is very, very cool. I think I like the building idea. You probably just thought about it and did not want to see it through because it was like a very deep rabbit hole. I realized, or more because you need to think about it. If they save plenty and the building, when will the building be finished? Well, like when will it, so if how much you do they need to save for the building to finish? What happens is that a new building comes in, does it turn to a duplex? So I think you thought about it and then you ran away. Like, oh, more let's say this thing did pass. Which I think so if you think of something, if you have the idea, ensure you see to explain how it will work in detail. If they stop saving, will the house come back to like a bungalow? Like you need to this shows that you had that depth in the idea and you know and somebody and that's how I want us to see case studies. Like if someone comes and I like this idea, it should be implementable. Like a developer can take it and they have everything it needs for them to work on it. So that's also what I'm going to say for that. Then Olalekan, yeah, it's the same thing as Fola Jomi said. Fola Jomi, you want to speak?
No, when you're done, I just remembered something. When you're done.
Okay. So yeah, the palm page side redesign, it would have really helped if I had something to reference. That was the only issue I had. We just have to believe. Might be lying to us, and we just have to take it like that and drink your Zobo like that. But I'm sure you saw all these quirks, but we had to be trusting you. There was no reference to compare it with. So it felt like you did were not ready um, for it. You just had so you can't share his site. Imagine so that's the thing. And you guys need to know that these case studies they are presenting, you will not present for a recruiter. Your case study is doing the Lord's work. You are sending it ahead in front of you and you'll be hoping. So if you send just that, they just be like, okay, what am I looking at? And that's it. So that's what a case study, it should be speaking for you rather than you doing the talking later. So yeah, that's just the issue. I think the design was very clean. It has, and I like that you maintained Pampe, color, and brand tone, because many people, when they want to redesign, they decide that, okay, I think yellow is the best for this brand. They made a mistake. It's yellow I want to use, or pink. So I like that you stuck with the brand tone. Then for a komobong, sorry, I don't want to mispronounce that. Yeah, I think it was well detailed. I enjoyed the storytelling. I'm a fan of storytelling, because I think that's what separates many designers. Yes, but again, you sort of lost me in some places, because it was again too lengthy, and that's the same issue for Folajomi had. It became too lengthy at some point. Then your weaknesses. I don't know if you can say too much shadow, too much use of shadow on the homepage is a weakness for a brand. I mean aesthetic, but I don't think it's a business weakness. And users can't sign. So the things we consider weaknesses, we need to be careful or with you. So if you say users can't sign in using social media, there are reasons why. There are security reasons why. There are technical limitations why that you need to understand. So if you want to point something, it has to be very obvious facts, reasons why this is a weakness. You can't just say that, okay, signing up. There are security issues with signing up with Twitter or with Facebook or something. So there are reasons why brands decide to choose those things. So you need to understand why they do all those things and find how you can fit your own solution to it. But yeah, that's all. I like the fact that you had a conclusion and your learnings are very important. Like, what did you learn from the whole process, which is very key. Connects back to why you were even solving the problem in the first place. So yeah, and then as color, sorry, I have to point that out. You use red colors in places that I think may not be best. I can't remember them, but I spotted it and I had to jot that down. Yeah, red colors for like selections, card selections. Red, we know red colors connotes negative meaning, so we should be careful when we choose some of those colors and ensure that they are in the right place. So yeah, that's all I have. Well done to everyone again. Folajomi, I think you can go.
Yeah, so the final thing I wanted to say is for those that are presented, one way for you that I've noticed that I was able to learn more about user retention when it comes to my design and my UX process is I learned it from Monopoly Go. It's a game. As a designer, just download the app, use it for a week, study and see the things they do to retain users to keep coming back to that app to actually play game. Yeah, it might be a game, it might not be related to any other niche you're working on, but their UX thing you get to learn from that particular game, which I was able to learn, and I imply some of those things into other niches that I work on. And another thing regarding the last statement, Victor, you said about the whole social media integration when you cannot sign up with Google. Policies down when it comes to anything that has to do with money involved. A lot of platforms are taking out social media integration because if they easily hack your Twitter account, automatically they already have access to that your fintech that you have money in. Or if they hack your Google Mail, you already have access to that whatever app you already integrated in. So because of that reason, most fintechs, most apps that has to do with money, they start removing authentication, all the type of easy authentication process. So some of these things, when you're designing, don't just think about it from the design hand, think about it from the technical hand. When you're implementing it, what is the implication? What is any policy stopping this? Is any because these are what you do in the real world. Yes, it might be your fictional project, but make it real worldwide because by the time your recruiter is seeing what you're doing and say, oh yeah, this wasn't thought of it because a policy said this and this is why they are doing this. They know that yes, you're putting the business into consideration when you're doing your UX process.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Adimchi, and thank you for the addition, Ms. Folajomi. App, Deborah, please turn on your mic and you have 20 minutes.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm so glad to be here, and I'm here to present a case study, which is Chemtech Telecoms app. So I'll be sharing my screen now. Please, can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right. So Chemtech is a platform, an application to actually pay bills, your utility less bills. Let's say you want to pay for TV subscription, or let's say you want to pay for your electricity bills. And also on the platform, you can also like buy data, buy airtime, and the likes. And actually, I wouldn't say this is like a personal project, is a project for my company. But nevertheless, I've always put it upon myself that whenever I'm doing something, not just for the money, because I know eventually I'll be paid, my salary will be paid, but nevertheless, whatever I'm doing, whatever design I'm giving out should actually solve a problem. So that was the reason why when I was being given the project, I had to ask questions. Okay, the clients, like, what was the problem? What are you trying to solve, and the likes. So eventually they like discussed the problem, which is actually over time they discovered that users face inconveniences and also like inefficiency with getting airtime, getting data. For example, when they want to pay for their utilities, electricity, for example, you have to go to the PTN office, queue, so many things, and it's kind of frustrating, and at times it's kind of stressing and a lot. And when they actually mentioned the problem, I was kind of happy because it's something I could relate with 100%. Because I could remember like 3 years ago when I was 7, the major thing, not major thing, one of my roles there is actually to, at the end of the month to pay bills, electricity, our TV subscriptions, and anytime I go to the PTN office or the DSTV office, like the long queue, everything there. I could even remember there was a day like I went there and the attendant was like, okay, there is no light and there is no way they could print the token, there is no way they could do this, they could do that. Like I was actually frustrated that day that no, this is actually not good. And looking at the fact that I have to queue a lot of things, the same thing at the DSTV office, and well, when they when they mentioned the problem, I was kind of happy that wow, eventually I'm going to work on this, and I will be glad to actually, be part of a solution like this. So that's a problem statement. So while working on the solution, I relate with the stakeholders all through the designing, and we're able to come up with, okay, let's go with a mobile app. It's kind of more accessible compared to a web application. Looking at the fact that,
Hello, Deborah.
yeah, can you
Can
hear
you please
me?
turn off your personal video since you are presenting on the screen?
All right. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, so we actually like I gave the suggestion that okay, looking at survey that I conducted, like it seems like okay, we have more users on the mobile apps compared to the web like people with laptops. So it would be better we go with a mobile application, which will actually allow the users eventually to buy airtime, data, pay their utility bills, electricity, also e-payment options too in that same app. And also it will be like a user-friendly app that people can, can enjoy while using, and they can actually love to go back to it anytime, any day. And also during the course of the project, I was able to go through some process to get the design done, which is conducting user researches. This is actually it's like a bedrock for my main design, and because after conducting this, I was like able to, understand other people's pain too. Like I said, I actually, like in this on this particular platform, I have actually experienced this. So I was able to get other people's feelings to their pains and the likes on this particular problem. So eventually, from the user research, I was able to gather ideas like insights. Okay, how to go about it. Okay, we can do it that way. We can do it this way. Because one thing I've learned over time also is we are not just designing for designing sake, but we're actually designing to solve a particular problem. So the major goal of my design should be, it should be usable. It should be useful for people, not just that, okay, the design is beautiful, is this and is that, but on the long run, people should be able to use it, and for the exact purpose that is being designed for, people should be able to use it for it. So after that, I was able to, define the user flows, wireframes. I prototyped all the screens, like it's very prototyped, because that was the first thing I presented before the final designs. So the prototype was enough to, guide them. Okay, this is how to go about it. You can, this is how to navigate through the app. And also then the visual design later, it was, the link was sent to the development team. They implemented it, do the necessary things. Then it was tested with real users that will eventually use the app. Then lastly, the app was launched, and it was brought into the market. And yeah, my major role there is to design this particular application, which actually suits the user's needs. And I would say I single-handedly do the designs, like all the visual designs. Though I work with people, the developers, the product managers, the marketers, the stakeholders, but majorly I did the design over myself. Then also the journey can actually be categorized in actually 5 processes, which is discovering, divining, ideating, designing, and testing. And I'll be taking these one at a time. Okay, coming to the discover process. The first thing, like I said, I had to ask the stakeholders, the client, like, okay, why are you doing this? What would this and what solution will it bring about eventually? So these are the questions I actually asked them, like their goals, their objective. Okay, which kind of services? Fine, this is the problem. Which particular things we like to feature on this app? Like, okay, your business goals, so that I'll not just design and neglect the goals of the stakeholder while focusing alone on the user, which I know is the main target. But nevertheless, I was, through these interview questions with the stakeholder, I was able to include them also in the whole project and the whole process. Then after that, user research was conducted. I actually did, one. Can you still hear me, please?
Ayodeji, can you please mute yourself?
All right, thank
Please
you.
continue.
So, yeah, thank you. So I was able to also conduct a one-on-one user research with people, so to know their goals and the likes. Also, particular audience was targeted. Obviously, since we were building a mobile application, it should be people with mobile phones, like people that can actually access mobile phones, and also people that, their interest is in the like of, okay, I want to buy data, I want to purchase airtime. And I think even either you have an Android, this kind of sophisticated phone. Nevertheless, you still buy airtime, you buy, yeah, you communicate with people. Then it comes to people with smartphone that they can actually pay bills on their phones without having to go through the stress of queuing in a PATN office or a subscription provider office. And also, I before conducting the research, I actually penned down some questions that I asked the users eventually, which actually aid my user research process. Like, okay, what kind of things do you like this application to feature? Have you ever any experience with this kind of thing before? Like, there are challenges, there are pains and the like, so that we know how to come up with something better that can actually address their needs and do away with their frustration in the most minimal way. Yeah, and also these are a few of the user personas. Like, it's actually most, so I can't put all of that in here. So this first person, Temin, she had her pain points and she had her goals. And what I could see, that main goal is just she's looking for a way that's okay, a cost-effective solution. And yes, she still wants to purchase airtime, data, pay bills, and without stress and the likes. And also, she wants a kind of a platform, a transparent platform that will be very easy to use, not complicated, and the likes. And the second person here, Peter, also has his own pains. Most time you find it challenging to keep track of his utility bills. And yeah, I can't I've been in this shoot before. I could remember one of those days, after going through the stress of going to the PTN office, going paying, I came back. Yeah, I was given a printout that we ought to enter into the token. Yeah, I just don't know, like, somehow I misplaced it, and we couldn't find it. And I know without it, that means the money I paid, everything has like gone to waste. So I was just imagine that then I didn't mean I have this kind of idea that okay, there is an application that can do this. This would have avoided me this kind of situation. I can just go back to my mobile app, like check for the transaction, this particular transaction, check the details, everything. I can actually check through my token to retrieve it in case I lost anything. So I actually understand his pain here, and this was actually captured, yeah, in the application eventually. And his goal is actually to pay bills efficiently, not going to offices to queue for a long time. You go there at times, there'll be nice attendants, there'll be those that will not be nice, they don't care, but you too, you just have to be there because you are there for a purpose, no matter who you are relating with. And also after that, is able to empathy mapping, which is actually like a major thing in understanding how your users feel, and how best you can actually reduce their pain, their stress, and the like. So these are the major things that Demi mentioned. She wants to top up her phone quickly. She wants to be able to pay electricity bill before it is due. So these are the pain points she said, and her thoughts, and also her feelings, and what she would really like to do on the particular app. And in particular, she actually emphasized on the point that she will actually be relieved in if she could know that okay, her utility bill can be handled, can be paid on time, like without service interruptions like the one I mentioned earlier, like okay, power failure, and they're unable to print the receipts or the token or anything. So she mentioned that she will actually feel relieved if this can be handled successfully. And this is actually one of my joys. That's okay, wow, like this is actually a good thing to do. And also Peter also has his own, his own thoughts, his actions, and actually his feelings, which is actually captured here. You want to renew his subscription payment as soon as possible, just sitting in the comfort of your home or your office and just getting your bills settled, getting your bills paid Yeah, and you want, a convenient way, reliable way, like I mentioned, you can do it from anywhere you are, at the comfort of anywhere you are. You don't have to go to anywhere, you don't need transportation and the likes. And also, he mentioned that he will actually feel assured that if he knows that, okay, his subscription is being renewed seamlessly, like without stress. Yeah. And also, he also mentioned uninterrupted access to services. That means I'm not the only one that I've actually experienced this. That means there are a good number of people that are on this table. So those are the part of the things that actually fueled my passion, my energy into these projects. Then after dirt, which is a third process, this is the hydrating process, and
Hello, Deborah.
yeah,
You have 5 minutes left.
wow. All right, thank you. Okay, so these are the like area of focus. Okay, you want to buy airtime, you want to buy data, POBs. Like, okay, what are the major things that we are bringing into the table? How can we improve this thing? And so these are few of the statements we came about. Enable users to easily purchase data bundles, purchasing airtime, without stress, and also how they can actually facilitate the automatic payments of recurring subscription bills and the likes. And also, eventually, I came up with a user flow, though not that comprehensive, but yeah, just like a walkthrough. The first thing, the splash screen onboarding. As a new user, the first thing you do is sign up, and if you've been on the system before, you log in to have continued access to your application. And also, there are a few menus there which are the major things you want to do on the app. You buy airtime, buy data, make subscription for your TV, for your electricity and the like. Then we also have the profile menu on it where you can refund and earn. So you're not just helping yourself, you're not just making life easier for yourself, like buy data easily, pay subscription easily, but on the likes you can still refer people and still get paid. So those are one of the benefits of the project. So these are few of the screens of the low fidelity designs. They are much, so I kind of just put few here. And also for the high fidelity designs, these are few of the screens likewise. These are the on-body screens, like trying to let the users get familiar with the application while they are coming first to the application. So, and yeah, this is the home screen. Why the main thing, the main services on the application is well pronounced, so that when they come to the home screen, whatever they want to do, they can easily do. Buy airtime, buy data, cable TV, electricity. They can easily fund their wallet or transfer money also between users on the platform. And also, this is the screen for the transaction. They can actually track the transaction, yeah, to see what goes in, how it goes and the like. Then these some of the action screens, and the action screens like buying data, buying airtime. So I just capture few of them. Let's say you want to fund your wallet. There are ways in which you can do that. There are money points, automated bank transfer. There are also Sterling. So I actually misplaced the name here. And finally, the last process, after all has been done, we kind of text the application with who will be the end users eventually. So feedbacks were taken, and the app was actually adjusted to the feedbacks to suit the users' needs, to accommodate the stakeholders' goals. Yeah. And after everything has been done, the app was eventually pushed out and developed, and you can see it's already on Play Store. The name is Chemtech Enterprises. And in conclusion, eventually when the app was pushed out and we we were getting feedback from real life users, I was kind of happy, like, wow, this is actually solving a particular, like a real life problem. It was actually my joy, and I'm still happy that more users are still coming in and using the app regularly. And I actually want to thank you for taking your time to listen to my presentation. And thank you, a big thank you to Perxels organizers for this great thing you are doing. It's so much appreciated. Thank you. And to our fellow judges, thank you for your time. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for the presentation. You were just within time. Okay, so I'm so happy that this is on Play Store. Okay, I'll probably go and download it to see the experience as well. Okay, so we'd like to have our judges pass their comments on the second half presenters. So we will be having Mr. Adimchi Oka first this time. Mr. Adimchi.
Okay, hi. Well done, well done, well done. Um, well done to everyone for the of presenters. Think very quickly we can walk through some of them. So I think we had sorry, one moment while I check through what I have here. Okay, was it Zion that came in? I started
Yes,
first.
Zion,
Okay,
Ayodeji, and Deborah.
and I did. Okay, thanks. Okay, yeah, Zion. Yeah, the skincare. Yeah, I like the idea. I feel it was very unique. I like that, and I'm always a fan of people breaking the norm. Don't everybody has designed 20,000 food delivery apps. Everybody's trying to unbank. I be bank the unbank. So I like when we break out of that sphere and you think of new ways, like think of new solutions that you can bring. And I also like the fact that it included business model. I don't think anybody did that. And that's a plus. It's good that you think about how the business will make money, and that's very, very, very key. But I think there were some things that you can note. I think again the same issue I have with many people was too wordy. You need to itemize the problem statement. Like let's be clear. Let's see what the issues are. And then one fundamental part, I think you also stopped halfway. You gave up midway, because for skincare, you need to understand the person's type of skin. There has to be that communication between. So you cannot just have a website and that's it. You're good to go. You need to bridge that gap. They need to know, okay, what kind of skin, maybe share pictures and say, oh, this is the condition I have. So you cannot just send, oh yeah, use this one, use sunscreen, use this. You just get them that way and you don't know, you don't communicate with this skincare specialist or this dermatologist. So that I believe is very key. So ensuring that you cover that bridge. But I think overall there, but contrast issues too. When you have text over images, I noticed you had like an image, then a background on top, then a very black text. It's difficult to read. It's a poor score on a contrast grade. So if you use that contrast calculator, it's going to be tedious to read. So you should always watch out for that. But yeah, that I think overall, I like the idea. I like the fact that you are breaking out of the norm. Yeah, I think I wrote her name as Bamit Boye, but I think it's same as Deji. Yes. So she did the period tracker. The presentation I think was very, very clean, very good. I like that the solutions are well thought out and very, very practical. They connect and they are very realistic in sense. It feels implementable. The only thing I had issues with were designs. Like sometimes I notice inconsistent margins. Sometimes I notice iPhone 15 mock-up with dynamic island and it went back to the other mock-up. So it can be distracting sometimes. Then the iconography, some of your check marks were not there. One was bending upward and also it might be something you need to watch out for, like that detail across board. So ensure that the margins between the edges of the screen and your content should be the same. except like maybe an onboarding screen. But if it's within the app, ensure that they have like consistent margin. And yeah, I think overall it was a very good. I like the color used too. It was top stuff. And lastly, for Ayola for Chemtech, it's quite detailed. I like the way you um I mean, got research, you asked people, and especially for practical projects, you would understand what this means. So have like a live project, and that's a plus. But I think you need to research existing solutions because there might be provisions for these solutions already that I think will help you condition how you prepare or design this or how you would have designed this. Yeah, so I think that's very key that you look at how other people. I mean, you might be looking within your zone, within your immediate locale that many people go to buy or recharge their electricity bill outside. Actually, I don't. I'll be speaking for myself. I don't. I use my bank, and I think many people probably just give out their cards to do that. So I personally use my bank to pay for those utility bills. People use PalmPay, people use OPay to do all that. So I think you need to scan, see if there are existing solutions to what you're providing, and find out how you can bring in like your own value propositions in there. Then the presentation, I felt it was too toned down for the presentation. Imagine you have a live project like this, and then you can't kill it with presentation. It broke my heart a bit that if you have it, like many people here are looking for a live project, so you can't backstep on like your presentation. You can't be like, oh, I have it, then let me just write it. So it felt like my project when I'm presenting like 400 level or final year projects where we just dump all the notes and impress them. This is design. You need to catch people. You need to allow them and they won't want to read through, they won't want to even see what's left if the first intro is not exciting, if the whole presentation of the case study is not too exciting. So that's what I think. And I just spotted maybe some contrast issues that maybe you can fix, maybe we update since the live projects that would work very well. But overall, I think it's a good one and well done.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adimchi, for the review. Okay, so can we have Miss Folajomi?
Thank you. So I'm going to come in like a bad cop here. So I'll start with the last presenter. First I would say that number one, I didn't feel like we were ready for the presentation, and it was just like we were just listening with friends, and we were just talking nonchalant. We didn't really take this presentation serious for me, and that was like a big turn off because you this is something you've actually worked on in a company, it's a life project, and your presentation didn't show that passion, that excitement, that whole I have this project is actually live, people are actually using it. That didn't show. And you spent like close to almost 20 minutes just gisting, talking about different instances. I was really waiting to actually see the design. And when I finally saw the design, all I'm seeing was shadows everywhere. Like it's a mobile app. Why are shadows everywhere? You use shadows when you're trying to elevate an element to show an overstate, to emphasize that okay, this thing is clickable. There are different instances why we are using shadows, right? We don't just use it randomly in design. And the reason why this is really paining me is because this is actually a live app. The app is already on Play Store. And I feel like you can do a lot better because based on the things you talked about, you really genuinely went deep into the research and everything. But now applying those UX you've done, those research you've done into the main design is where was an issue for me because all I could see was the shadows. I was trying to pinpoint, okay, what exactly was the unique thing that made yours different from me buying my recharge card or utility bill from Pockets or from GT Hub? Because currently I use my Pocket app and GT Hub to buy my utility bills, to pay for my light subscription, to pay for my DSTV or anything. I just use them. So what now makes yours different? I didn't get that either. And I'm sure it's probably there, but probably it was because the way you were presenting, and like people said, the whole there are bit of some contrast issue when it comes to your colors and all like that. It's really really cool that yes, you have a product that is live and whole, but you did not portray that attitude, that yeah, that bragging. You didn't come with the bragging right that yes, I have this that is actually live. Because trust me, when I'm talking about projects that I currently have live, you would want to be eager to instantly click on it the way I would talk about them. That is for the last presenter, but well done so far. For the first presenter, the lady with the skincare, I like your idea because I don't really know much about skincare. And I like the fact that there was a bit of consultation and everything. However, after selling me the idea and everything, I didn't really see the design. You didn't show me the separate landing page and showing me what are the contents in the landing page. You didn't explain any of different sections in the landing page. I didn't get to see it. I just saw the flat mock-up that you attached to that case study. Like I was expecting to see the full design. Let me take a look at this, this concept. You didn't show me the design. I was really looking forward to see it, but I didn't get to see it. You just showed it slightly in the mock-up, which was not really showing me what I want to see. I want to see, okay, this is the landing, this is the website. Okay, I can click on appointment or anything. I can see dermatology, I can see stuff about the skincare. I didn't get to see the design process. You mentioned that you did somewhere where someone can do consultation. I didn't see screen for that. You mentioned where I can see different details about those products so that I'll know I'm not getting fake product. I didn't get to see the design. You mentioned I can chat with the dermatologist about the skin, this and that. I didn't get to see the design. So where is the design? I was asking my question that. So you guys, you should have that in mind when you're presenting your ideas. What you're selling is you've sold the UX. Now let's see the design. If there's no design, why are you selling to me? That was really, really an issue for me. Now, so far in this presentation, I will give lady that worked on what's her name? Let me see. I think that's Bami Boye, right? I really, really love the way you went to your presentation. You have really a really genuine idea that a lot of women have issues with their menstrual slough, those that are facing PCOS, those that are facing hormonal imbalance. Your idea is really unique. The fact that from the hub, I can easily consult a gynae, talk about something like, and shop for kids. It's really, really dope, and I love it. And I like the fact that from the beginning, which is what I was already expecting, and I was happy that at least you did that. I like the fact that from the where you have your product overview, there was a mock-up of your own page of your hub beside it. That already showed me that okay, definitely I want to see more. And that is how case studies should sell your skill to people. That the moment they are seeing it, within the first 4 seconds, I should see something that attracts me to want to dive in more, which we did. And aside, yeah, you also had log of story, which is okay. But during presentation, there's a way that yes, you've already written all of those steps that you went through, the pain point. But then during presentation, there's a way you can be fast about talking about it. You don't really need to explain in depth first. I've seen that anticipation. I want to see the order. And I like that by the time you now start showing me the screen, you had a screen of your own page, you were explaining what went on there. You had a screen of the period page, you were explaining what went on there. Like you give detailed explanation of what is in that screen and why you did that screen like that. That is how I love case study should be. So whoever I see will know that yeah, this person made this decision because of this, and you really did that. Like so far for me in all the presentations today, that presentation was like, and the way the case study was outlined was like the best for me. I really like that. And I like the way you used your color. Yeah, it was pink, but there's that touch of all the other accents color as well. I really, really like that. And but also I think some places you use shadow, then some places where you wanted to use stroke, you could have used like a subtle stroke of like gray, a very light gray, but you were using pink. In those places, you don't really need pink. One thing with design is wherever you're using your primary color, you're trying to tell your user that that thing is clickable, right? So if it's at its inactive state when nobody's clicking, then it should be gray, like the stroke or whatever you're putting there should be like a gray or something. Should not show as if this thing is clickable for users. And just a general feedback for everybody that presented. I think we all should still go and check in depth about, use color usage. How look at the apps that people use mostly today and they love it, right? Look at how they have implemented stuff. Look at how even you when you use those apps, you see what you like. Like check out Grey Finance, check out Piggyverse, check out what's this app name? You can check out Pocket. I already mentioned Monopoly Go earlier. You can check out some Web3 app. You can check Bybit, all those apps that you know that people use regularly, and see why you're using them. Look at those. It's not just about reading all those articles that are out there that they put out. Look at products that people actually use and learn from some of those UX in those products and see why. Okay, I see that this is like this makes things easy. You can learn from live product that a lot of users are using more than reading books all the time. And the reason I say that is by downloading those apps and looking. I have a lot of apps on my phone that I hardly use, but the only reason I download them is because I want to see their UX process. I want to see why these people did this thing like this. Each time those apps will update, I'm so eager to check their new updates. Let me see what they've changed and all of those things. These are also part of research as a designer, not just because you talk to this person, you talk to that person. Also using live app to experience. I learned a lot from Google Meet alone. There's a project I was working on at some time where I had to integrate group calling into it. It was my usage of Google Meet. I got to get certain UX things to solve the problem I wanted to solve in that app. So checking out other existing platforms that people like, that people use regularly, also helps you understand certain UX things that you are supposed to do. I hope you guys, if I sound too harsh, I didn't mean to, but I like to be, say it as it is so that you get to understand that these things are actually really impactful. And which is one thing I've noticed with design. I get that when doing our training days, they teach us, from the basics and all. But aside the basics, they teach you. Try and see how it is in reality. Yes, it's friction. Try and see how these things get implemented, these things get to work. There's a whole lot of things that has to do with building a product or designing a product. It's not just about the design. I think it's beyond like UDC current what is it called topic. It's beyond Canva. There's a whole lot of things involved. So I feel like as a designer, we should try to think in depth with those aspects as well. That gradually we become, good at what we do. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Folajomi. Really appreciate the review. I personally learned a lot. If you learned a lot, please use the thumbs up emoji. The thumbs up emoji this time. Yeah, thank you very much. And thank you everyone for coming. So today is not the end of the presentation. We have our second set tomorrow, and we have two other judges who will be coming to review the presenter's portfolio, and we would like you all to be there, right? Also, our final result is not coming out today. So for those of you that started writing in the DM that we announcing the winners today, no, not yet. Until tomorrow, our judges know what to do already. So I really want to say a very big thank you to everyone who stayed here from the beginning to the end. And for people who have gone, we say very big thank you. We also appreciate our judges for their in-depth review and for nailing it. Because this is review, even if we don't win the money, you learn what to do next. So really appreciate everything that you have done for us. And we thank Perxels, the Perxels planners and conveners for this competition program. We are very, very grateful. This is a way to impact design industry. So here is how I put the program to an end tonight. I am Oluwatosi. Sorry for introducing my name just now. Okay, so I'm Oluwatosi. It was nice having every one of you. Thank you very much. And now I'll be signing out. Okay, bye. Bye. Bye, judges. Thank you,
Bye.
everyone. Yeah, bye.
All right, bye.
Bye.